everybody, Crafting Journey here. That Journey chick on Instagram. Okay, so I've been working on my diamond painting. Yep, getting more and more done. Her flesh is coming out here. And it doesn't look like I accomplished much, but I did. There's a lot of single placing in this things. As you can see, things are just kind of dotted around. Anyway, I was having fun with it. Uh, Anytime the dogs wanted to go outside, I would sit here and diamond paint. And then last night I came back in and diamond painted for a little while. I had quite the day yesterday. So I think I told some of you guys that. All right, let's diamond paint. Let's diamond paint. I told some of you guys that last Thursday I had a panic attack. Now, I have diagnosed anxiety, and I take medicine for it. Probably not as often as I should, according to the doctor. So, ever since last Thursday, I've been getting this chest pain and like this tingling in my hands and lower arms and hands, and little bit of shortness of breath. So, you're always thinking, oh my God, am I having a heart attack? But I know it's anxiety. I know it is. So I called my doctor yesterday. Can I get a doctor's appointment? So, she said, what are your symptoms? Oh no, you need to go to the emergency room. Well, I was already at work at the hospital. So, I strongly suspected it was my anxiety, but I thought, well, let's go rule out the heart thing just in case so I don't die of a heart attack. So I go down to the ER and, they did their workup and everything was negative. And the practitioner, well, actually I saw a PA. The PA, she was super nice. She's like, yeah, you've got anxiety. Those are classic signs of anxiety. The tingling in your hands, the little bit of pressure. It's not really pain, She goes, so she gives me some IV Ativan. That was nice. And, I've been so hesitant to take, I have the medication at home, but I hesitate to take it because the doctors are like, it's a controlled substance and you can only have this much of it, and like when yeah, they just don't like to give it to you. They're very stingy with it. Anyway, but I have a prescription for it. So the doctor, after all is said and done, the PA, she sat down with me and she said, you've got the medicine, take it. So I'm like, okay. She says, you can take it up to 4 times a day. All right. So, she said, now I can admit you for a cardiac workup. But, everything we've done here so far, the EKG was negative, the blood work was negative, they do troponins. I had no signs of elevated troponins. My chest x-ray was fine. And the Ativan was relieving my anxiety. So clearly it was anxiety, which I'm happy about. I'm glad that, it's not my heart. I had an aunt that had a massive heart attack in the middle of a grocery store parking lot when she was in her 40s and died on the ground in the parking lot. So, so that's ruled out. I'm happy. But then at 3:30 this morning, I wake up with it again. Well, Jake needed to go out, so Jake wakes me up, and as soon as he woke me up, I could feel it again. I could feel the tingling. I could feel the pressure. I can feel it right now. Yes, I'm drinking coffee. The PA said, don't worry about the coffee. Drink your coffee. It's fine. You don't need to cut back on caffeine. So I am taking the day off from work. I texted my boss at 4 o'clock this morning. I said, I'm up in the middle of the night, anxious again. I'm just going to relax today. And, sometimes things that make me anxious are when I get disorganized. So I want to clean the house, organize as much as I can today, stay off social media. I am not going to do a Craft With Me Wednesday show tonight because I just want to relax. And I'm so sorry, guys. I was going to do some loom knitting. I wanted to start the 10 stitch blanket that Wambui said she was going to put up the tutorial on, but she hasn't put the tutorial up yet. So this is okay. So I'm just going to relax, watch some television, do some crocheting and loom knitting, and my scarf is almost done, that beautiful sparkly scarf. And just, try to clear my mind. I will take the medicine if I need it. And then hopefully this thing that, it all started with that panic attack last Thursday. So I just think I need to relax for a day. Thank you for letting me share. This is what is Rebecca up to today? Yes. You know what? I do deeply appreciate you guys listening. I try to make this as entertaining as I possibly can, but, sometimes I just need to talk about what's going on with me, just to get it out there. It's a pandemic. I'm new to this area. I don't have any friends I've learned long ago that coworkers are your coworkers. They're not your friends, because as soon as you lose that job, they don't ever talk to you again. So I don't, they're more like acquaintances. And I have Mickey, but Mickey's having issues of her own with depression and anxiety, and so I talk to you guys. Anyway, back to dinotating. I'm in a good mood. I really am. It's just, those symptoms. So I'm going to sit and relieve those symptoms today. So this National Day, what National Day is it today? It is National Make Somebody Happy Day. Do something for someone to make them happy. It could be as simple as a Post-it note. Leave a Post-it note for a coworker or, somebody you love. If you've got kids, put a little Post-it note in their lunchbox. Hey, I love you, Mom. I used to do that to my kids all the time. I would put little notes in their lunch boxes when they were little. I don't know. Maybe that made them the person they are today. I don't know. Buy a cup of coffee for somebody? Yeah. Cause I'm happy, happy, if you feel like a room without a view. I love that song, Happy, by, what's his name? I don't know. Happy, 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 happy. Okay, we could talk about Judge, Jury, and Journey. Da, 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 da. Okay. This Kelsey Thomas trial. What a train wreck. Good God. Yesterday, they put on an investigator. Now, this investigator did some interviewing of this defendant, but he did not get involved until after the autopsy. I'm just going to put this out there. The lawyers were so bad. Oh my God. The questions were just all over the place. You couldn't hear the taped recording of the interview. It was only 2 minutes long, the part that they played. I have no idea what she said during this interview. I think there's more to come about the interview because one of the defenses in this case is that she was interrogated for allegedly 14 hours and that she caved and just confessed because she wanted to get it over with. After 14 hours, she would have told him anything. That's one of the defenses. So this investigator, I did not get a single thing about the investigator, but he got involved because the autopsy ruled that the child had died by strangulation. That was the cause of death. The cause of death was strangulation. The manner of death was not talked about. So I'm like, because we all know on an autopsy there's a cause of death and a manner of death. Now, I don't know if the jurors know this, but so apparently what happened is in a pretrial motion, the defense got the manner of death excluded. Not allowed to talk about it at the trial because the medical examiner had made the manner of death homicide. But nobody's allowed to say that. So all they can talk about is the cause of death. So once they learned that the cause of, the police learned the cause and the manner of death, they're like, whoa, okay, homicide. Let me go talk to this woman again, ad nauseum, apparently. So then they put on a DNA expert, and she tested everything under the sun for DNA just to make sure that the child had not had any kind of sexual assault, and she hadn't. That's not even an issue in this case. I don't know why they put this woman on the stand. I have no idea. Then they put on the medical examiner, and this woman was so boring. Oh my God. And she could have talked the ear off a donkey. I think she thought she was there to give the jury a lesson in medical examination. Oh my God. If I was a jury, I would have strangulated my own self, having to listen to this for hours and hours yesterday, or during day one of the trial. So she talked about how, and she concluded that yes, it was strangulation, but what kind of strangulation? So then she gets into all these different ways you can be strangulated. And I'm thinking, can't she just tell us how this kid was strangulated? I don't want to hear how 900 other people were strangulated. I'm not even saying that right, I don't think. Anyway, she's talking about all the, whatever. So, and she's describing the injuries ad nauseum, and then finally the conclusion was that, and she explained this over and over and over again, that if you hang yourself, typically you don't see much injury to the neck. This child had a lot of injury to the neck. Now, both are there's different ways to become strangulated. So the defendant's first version of events was that she found her daughter hanging in the closet, and that she thought she might have been trying to take these pajama pants and make them into a swing. So it was almost like a sling, and that she caught her neck into. So, and then the confession version of the events was different, but I haven't heard what that is. some other type of strangulation. Um, but I don't have the like particulars. Like they keep saying first version, second version, but we don't know what the second version is. But in any case, the medical examiner said that her findings were not consistent with the first version. In other words, this child didn't hang herself. She became strangulated some other way because there was way too much damage in her neck for it to have been a hanging. I don't know why she didn't say that in the beginning. It took her hours and hours to say that. So that was day one of the trial. Those poor jurors, I would have been so confused. So confused. I'd have been like, Your Honor, can I be excused? I get the point. Now, can I be excused? Yeah. Oh my God, they must have been so bored. Anyway, so I will continue looking at the trial. Now, I have to admit, I have kind of peeked, fast forwarded and peeked. But I'm not going to tell you. You know, I know how this trial ends because I peeked. So it is interesting. It is very interesting. So we will keep going with it, and I will update you. And then you guys can make up your mind, you know, what you think about what the evidence shows. I just need to breathe. Coffee. In the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd trial, we don't have a ruling yet on whether or not that third-degree felony charge can come in. I will let you know as soon as that comes across. So are you guys I'm changing the subject. Just in case you guys have noticed, gee, she has a weird way of diamond painting. Yes, I do. I'm what's known as a cross-country diamond painter. Especially on smaller paintings. On the larger paintings, I will do sections. You know, I'll section it off and I'll do the sections. But on these smaller paintings, I'm just taking a color and putting it wherever. Yeah. And that is known as cross-country diamond painting. That came from cross-stitch because some people will cross-stitch sections at a time, or they'll just take a color and do it, you know. When I'm cross-stitching, I find I'm not so much a cross-country cross-stitcher because I'll figure out like way down the line, holy crap, I made a mistake. Like I didn't count that right, and then I have to, you have to take it out, and it's a mess, and yeah, no. So Shalene's coloring book nook last night, she had a little, like a giveaway on her channel. All you had to do was pay postage. For 2 hours, I just sat mesmerized by the stuff she was giving away. It was all these cross-stitch, like, I don't know what you call them. Some were kits, some were just the patterns. And all you had to do was pay the shipping, and she's going to ship it out to you. But I came across one thing that I wanted. One thing. And Crystal beat me. She's like, nope, I want that. I'm like, oh, Crystal. Anyway, it's okay because I don't have time to cross stitch. I wasn't broken up about not buying anything, but I was fascinated at all these people buying up all this cross stitch because now it's all going to sit in their stash and they're never going to do it because like some people were just buying up everything, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of cross stitching, guys. It is. And Shalene was doing it so she could get rid of her stash. You know, when you want to get rid of your stash, just give it to just pass it along to the next person. And I think she was having fun. I know she was having fun. That does not go there. So let's talk about this day in history. John Dillinger, and there's a picture of him right here. Not such a handsome dude, is he? Well, his way of making a living was bank robbery. And he learned how to do it in prison. Like he committed some crimes, he goes to prison, and he learns bank robbery. Like he's got this particular method that he uses. He enlists all the guys that are in prison with him to be part of his Dillinger gang. And they are, and then when they all get out, they help him rob banks. So he robbed 24 banks. And some other places. I forget what the other places were. Oh, 4 police stations? 24 banks? Something like that. Anyway. So, on this day in history, he gets locked up in this prison. And the guards in this prison were like, this prison is escape-proof. Well, he escapes on this day in history. What year was it? Let's take a look and see what year it was. $1934, during the Depression. Now, there's several different versions of how he broke out of this prison. Some people claim he carved a gun out of a potato. I find that hard to believe. Others say that, no, he had an actual gun, and they think maybe his lawyer smuggled it in for him, or I don't know. And then another version is that he carved it out of scrapings from the wall. I don't know. Anyway, he escapes. So later on during his life, the FBI is set up, and they've got a sting operation in front of this theater, and he's in this theater, and they're going to get him when he comes out. So he comes out of this theater, and he sees them, and he starts running. And he runs down this alley, and of course there's FBI agents in the alley, so they shoot him and they kill him. Well, now there's a conspiracy theory that was not him, that it wasn't John Dillinger. So for a while there was some petitions by the family, and even one of the channels, I don't know which history, one of the channels, they wanted to exhume this guy's body and find out if this was really him. Because apparently at the autopsy, several things didn't match up with his description, like his height, his weight, his eye color. Interesting, huh? The plot thickens. If that wasn't him, then where is John Dillinger? Well, clearly he's probably dead by now, but where did he go? Did he just stop robbing banks? I don't know. But, yeah. Not a terribly handsome guy. That crooked smile. Yeah. Nope. Now, I know that at some point in his life he had some plastic surgery, so maybe he changed some of his features. But in any case, his body is not going to be exhumed. Everybody changed their mind, and so we just love conspiracy theories, don't we? We just love it. I'm thinking about how to proceed with the rest of my day. Because I'm not going to work. Like I said, no live tonight. I apologize, guys. I really, really do. I just think I need this time to rest, get my life in this house a little bit organized, catch up on the laundry, things like that. I know I will feel better when that happens. I do. Because I do get anxious when things are not in order. So, I don't know if that's the issue, but I'm going to see if it is. if it works, great. Yeah. And then I will keep taking the medicine until it kind of evens itself back out. Oh my goodness. 3:30 this morning. Yeah, Jake decides he's got to get off the bed. I was sleeping so good. Oh, yesterday when I was in the ER, oh my God, those beds in the emergency room are so uncomfortable. But they gave me that IV Ativan, and I take Ativan normally, so I'm used to Ativan, but the IV stuff, for at least 30 minutes, I was sound asleep. And as I'm waking up, because I could hear, like I heard somebody coming in the room, but I thought I was in my house. That's how good I was sleeping. And she's like, wow, clearly that worked. I'm like, yeah, it did. Anyway. But then she made me promise, you cannot go home. Did you drive yourself here? I said, well, yeah, I drove myself here. I'm working today. She's like, well, go back upstairs to your office for a few hours before you go home. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Because I had some stuff I wanted to finish up anyway. I was in the middle of doing something, and I wanted to finish that. Yeah, I need to get a few things done before I went home. But then I think I knocked off about 3 o'clock and came home. Does that ever happen to you guys with this anxiety thing? It's weird. So weird. I know I have anxiety. I've known that. But it'll come and go. But for it to linger for days is something new to me. I blame Sprint. It's all their fault. Okay, so it is Wednesday. No Craft with Me Wednesday tonight, but you do have Marissa, the Crafty Heifer. She comes on at 7 Central Time. And then later on is Tia's Crazy Craft Addictions. I love her. She comes on about 9:30 Central, 7:30 on where she lives in Vegas. So check her out. She's really fun. She really is. So guys, have a great day. I love you all, and today's gonna